everyone, what is going on? Today, I'm super excited because I got two pieces of mail that are very important that have to do with the Caliber. First is from Wells Fargo here, and the second, which is part of the first one, came from the Pennsylvania Department of Motor Vehicles. I got my title, and this one just says I made the last payment. So, I officially own the Caliber now, which I actually have the paperwork from Day Toyota where I bought it. I bought it, what was it? 3/13/2014. So, it was 2014, beginning of the year, and it is now end of October 2017. So, that gives you a little time frame of how quickly I paid it off. I did pay basically $12,500 for the car, and my old Volvo I got $1,500 for trade-in. And there was like, I had a 2-year warranty on the Caliber and stuff. But little backstory behind the Caliber. I had a Volvo 2003 S60 all-wheel drive. It was not an R, but was all-wheel drive. I bought it. It was an R title. It was the first car I ever had that was R titled. Was a lot of fun in the snow. It did have issues though, because I found out that even though it ran good, the first winter I had it, I found out that it must have been not towed on a flatbed. So basically, the rear angle gear got all stripped out. It damaged the joints and the bearings on the drive shaft. So I had to spend some money to fix that. And then the following winter, I skidded on ice and hit the radiator, and then it warped the head from loss of coolant, and I just ended up, I tried to fix it. I put a new radiator and stuff in, and it was burning coolant. So I had to get rid of it because my son was going to be born soon, and I needed something reliable. Unfortunately, I was trying to get another Volvo that was in my price range. It was slightly cheaper than the Caliber. I think it was 10 or 9 they were asking for it. But that dealership, which I'm not going to name, they would not work with me. They, I messaged them, told them I wanted the car because I had snow tires, a rack, and some performance parts. I told them I was interested in the car, and they were just like, oh, well, we just got it. It's got to go through our checklist. And so basically, they kept putzing around. I kept calling, saying I want it, I want to come out, I'll buy it today, just let me look at it. It was white with black interior, S60 all-wheel drive, just like I had. I think it was a year newer, maybe, so I think it had the different lip. But I really wanted it, and they weren't working with me. So then I started looking, because I've always liked hatchbacks. I had a Plymouth Horizon, I've had Neon, I had a first-gen Neon, and I've always had luck with front-wheel drive Dodges. So when this popped up, my buddy does finance for that dealership. This was at one of their other branches, and I asked them if they could pull it down. I went and looked at it. We worked on the price. I got like a 2-year like dealer warranty through like their Toyota dealership, which came in luckily. So I picked that up in March of 2014, and the first thing, I wasn't going to do too much to it, and first thing, before I even picked it up, my buddy talked me into getting the windows tinted, since you have a place that does tinting for cars. So I said, I got the lightest tint we could get, which, with the dark interior, it still looks pretty dark from the outside. And I really liked the car. At the time, it had low miles. It's still under 70,000 now, a couple years later. But I really liked it. I picked it up, like I said, for $12,500 with $1,500 on my trade-in, and that was with a 2-year warranty. It was like 60,000 miles, and it was like immaculate, clean title, everything. So when I got it, basically the person before must have got rid of a bunch of stuff. Like they got rid of like the little flashlight in the back and the floor mats and all that. So the first thing after I did is, after I got the windows tinted, was I got the floor mats, like the rubber kind, and then I got the roof rack, and then I did the snow tires, and then I started doing little things like the eyelids and trying to piece together all the Mopar body kit pieces. But another thing is, this was the first time I ever had to finance a car. So I was kind of nervous about that, because in the past I would either like pay cash or trade. Most of the time I would sell like another car to buy another one. That's how I mostly did, and most of them weren't that expensive. So this was like the most expensive car I've ever bought, and I had to finance it. So that being said, I'm super excited that this has come this far, and I've continued to modify it a little bit here and there. And now that it's my car and the bank doesn't own it anymore, I still want to keep doing little things to it. I'm not sure if I want to powder coat the stock wheels gunmetal, or if I want to get gunmetal like Method 502 rally looking wheels, because I like the rally look on hatchbacks. But I'm super excited that all this came in. I'm actually kind of surprised, because I only sent the final payment in like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And if anyone knows Pennsylvania and Harrisburg, getting the titles and stuff out, they take quite some time. They take their good old time. And I thought I wasn't going to have this for maybe another month. And I was really surprised to get my notice that they got the final payment and the title on the same day. But I am super excited for that. If you guys have any ideas of things that I can do to my Caliber, I'm all for it. Also, I jokingly drilled out a hole in the taillight for all the water to drain out. And it's still working. I haven't ordered a new taillight yet. It doesn't look like it's been drilled. It still gets a little bit of moisture, but it doesn't build up anymore. So until I can go to the junkyard and try to find a good one, I'm just going to leave the drilled one in there. But other than that, the car has had no real mechanical problems. The first year I had it, I took it in to get inspected, and they found the common like lower control arm wore out. So my warranty covered that, and like the full alignment and all that, and that's been really the only issue. Just been doing regular oil changes and changing the air filter, stuff like that. But I really like the car. The car's been on 2 big road trips from Pennsylvania to North Carolina. It's been in a few winters. All seasons were okay. Snow tires are good. I have to order snow tires for this year, 2 of them, and get those mounted in a week or so. It's been really mild so far at the end of October, but I know we're going to get hit with snow, and the snow tires I have now like just passed inspection, so they will be junk come actual snowfall. So I'm going to order 2 more as soon as I can figure out what kind I want to get, because I have 2 that are good from a neighbor, so I'm going to get those. They are a 55 series instead of a 60, but that's only a slight difference on the 17, so I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. The car will sit a little bit lower. Doesn't really matter. And I think they'll be a little bit skinnier, so that'll be better for some traction in the snow too, especially with brand new tires. So, like I said, super excited to actually own my car now. Have no more car payments for a little while. Some of my older videos, you saw that we've worked on my wife Sarah's Saturn that she calls Mork. And basically, we're looking at to replace that. It only has like 70,000 miles, but you know, there's been little electrical bugs for the turn signal sometimes acting up, and more recently, coolant over several months has like slowly disappeared. She drives it a lot. We want to try to find something bigger. I don't know what. I know she wants like a small SUV, I would say, like Renegade, CRV, RAV4 size. Not sure where we're going to go there, but that car's been really well maintained. I did have to do the fuel lines and that on it, but now that this car is paid off, now that the Caliber is completely paid off, I'm going to save up money for that, and I'm going to set some money aside for some bigger modifications for the Stratus. Mainly, I'm going to see if I can get the program from Psyched ECU Tuning so that I can tune the 3-liter. do stuff like remove the speed governor and stuff like that, because that's been kind of holding me back from doing actual track days, is having that car limited at 109 when that's like the top of third gear and you can't really use the overdrive fourth. But so I'm going to save some of that money. I'm going to put some of it towards a new car, and some of it I'm going to put into the Stratus and maybe some film equipment, maybe a better mount, maybe a audio recorder for the GoPro, or even just a better GoPro. Not sure yet, but that's my little vlog. I hope you guys liked it. I'm super happy that now I don't have that payment anymore. And as you can tell, since it was, you know, from 2014 to end of 2017, I was doubling up on payments and stuff as I could, because it wasn't an expensive car. And as much as I love my Volvos, it made perfect sense to buy the Caliber, which is basically a hatchback neon, or I like to look at it as the new Dodge hatchback, because I loved my Omni. It went great in the snow, and this reminds me a lot of it, especially owning an Omni and a neon. It reminds me a lot of both of them. Very plastic, which is great with like basically two toddlers, because everything just wipes off, and they're not ruining a really nice interior of a car. So that's basically it. I have no complaints with my Caliber. It's front wheel drive, CVT, no real issues. I do have some ideas for a little bit more mods on this, but we'll get to there when we think of what we're going to do with that. But hope you guys like this little video. So like and subscribe. Till next time.